This is getting recorded, right? Or no, no, or we don't record these things.
Okay, fantastic. Let's get started, everyone. And welcome to this first AMA of the year. Fantastic to have everyone here. I will turn on my camera briefly. It's kind of funny. I have this hat on. I had a small little accident while I was working out with Nick. It's like, I'm not gonna get into the details, but it's kind of funny. But all good, all good, all good. All right, let's get moving, guys. I think I want to start off with thanking everybody for being here, and I'm very excited for the coming releases and for the coming like all the product releases and everything that YieldNest is doing and did so far. So thank you everyone for joining and being part of this journey. Also, yeah, big upgrades. As everybody has seen, we launched our first sub-DAO, our AI agent, Nest AI. Um, that I will, and Sean and myself will answer a lot of questions about. I see there's a lot of great questions that came in. And we're also here to talk about maybe Wine Eve X that is now live, and the caps will be fully lifted probably next week, and then we're ready to roll out the full max LRT strategies. And the BNB X strategy is already in full swing with an astonishing 38% base APY of even 39.5 I see now. So that is going very well. So yeah, a lot of really good excitement, a lot of interesting new products have launched, and a lot of things to talk about. Maybe Sean, you also want to say a couple of words before we dive into the questions.
Yeah, I can echo the sentiment. Just thanks again for everybody's being around YieldNest and sticking around for all the awesome products that we're about to unveil, and really excited for what this year has to offer with our Max LRTs and Nest AI now. So it's going to be a fun year. I'm looking forward to all the products that we have in the pipeline.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, let's just dive right into the questions. Sean, do you also have the questions, or I will just kind of read them so everybody knows what the questions are going on. Let me also monitor the chat. Yeah, it's being recorded. GM. All right, let's fucking go. So the first question is from Web3 Girl 14, and she asks like, how will the YieldNest roadmap impact the broader DeFi landscape, and also what sets Nest AI apart from other AI-powered solutions? Maybe Sean, you want to kick off this with a response to that question?
Yeah, sure. Oh, so always, I think everybody's favorite question: what makes us different from everybody else? Uh, that's a good question right now. I think everything is so new. Everybody has their own spin and take right now on the way things should be. I think it's really anybody's game of what AI agents can do and will do in the future. Um, we we have a plan that yeah, we first goal is to kind of go after what AI XBT is doing. We have they've done something really amazing, and this kind of feels into what we need for Nest to in order to accomplish Nest mission, we need like AI XBT style information, and so we're really focusing on gathering good data inputs. We are AXBT is more all over the market, and Nest is going to be a bit more focused on really core DeFi protocols over time. Anyways, of course, it's maybe it'll be a little bit all over the place in the beginning, but we're fine tuning it to really focus on finding like really solid DeFi strategies. That also YieldNest may incorporate one day into the Max LRT strategies. And in addition to that, that's kind of step one is getting all of this great data to Nest and being able to share it with all of its followers and get to this like KOL level status where Nest has a reputation for great data and finding unique yield opportunities that you could just go implement yourself if you're following Nest. Uh, and the greater plan here with Nest is to build this wrapper around DeFi to further simplify DeFi. We're always trying to do this at YieldNest, and this is one of our big goals is to continue to simplify DeFi. And you'll be able to like go to a chat GPT style interface through Nest or maybe YieldNest and then execute have Nest basically develop a strategy for you based upon your own goals and what assets you have or what assets you're interested in, or maybe you to do research through Nest and help you kind of help you do the research and what you want to do, and then you could use Nest to execute strategies for yourself or go ahead and do them yourself. So we're really focused on research and getting good data to the users, and then also helping people execute manage their own portfolio if that's something they're interested in doing with Nest. Of course, there's a lot of security concerns to be considered there, so that will be won't happen overnight, but that is kind of the longer term vision there.
Yeah, great way to put it, Sean. I especially wanted you to talk about it. Like we can, in a lot of these AMAs or things, we can talk hours, like very commercially or hypey. And I think Sean like said it very much straight to the point, how it's gonna be. As I also in the thread that I just shared from Smart Ape, he picked up our release and wrote a little thread about DeFi and AI. And I also pinged him on his article before this one there that I agree with his take. His take in the article before he wrote this thread was that he says like, okay, DeFi and AI is amazing and it's great, but I do think there's a lot of work still to be done on the DeFi side, and there's also a lot of work still to be done on the AI side. And why YieldNest is so perfect and this AI subDAO is like a perfect addition to the overall YieldNest ecosystem, the YieldNest protocol, is because DeFi in itself is a whole rabbit hole, and there's a lot of things that we need to innovate, that we need to improve upon, that we need to make harder and secure. So you have YieldNest is a DeFi protocol. Then as a separate subDAO, we have Nest AI, who kind of builds on top in a synergistic and symbiotic way with the YieldNest protocol to deliver AI features and to deliver AI powers to YieldNest. And all the revenues and all the profit it generates will eventually all flow back to the YieldNest DAO token holders, right? So you can have Nest token right now, and I would recommend to buy it because there's like a lot of airdrops that are coming to that, and obviously the YND airdrop, and there's also elements when Nest AI is going to completely go live as a portfolio manager, where you might can get extra features, etc. So it's really a kind of a symbiotic relationship, and it started off as a more like an R&D project some time ago, and we realized like, well, wait a minute, like we're already building these agents. It would be fantastic if we launch our own agent that kind of forces us to stay on top of this market and to in parallel build out a whole AI stack plus keep us focused on the DeFi stack. So yeah, I think it's a very symbiotic relationship, right? All right. Yeah, moving on. I hope Web3 Girl 14. I hope your sound is working again, and you heard the answer to your question. Uh, yes, I assume it's okay. Yeah. All right. Let's move on. So we have a bunch of questions from Jen Trazor number one. Very nice questions. I'm just gonna go over them to see kind of what you recently IH launch. How can Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah, I can see. It kind of hooks into the earlier question that we responded to, right, Sean? And um, I think one of the main things that obviously everybody is thinking about, like how does this actually improve the YieldNest products, right? The Max LRTs. Well, the Max LRTs start as like kind of standalone products, but over time, I really want them also to turn into sub-DAOs. And sub-DAOs not necessarily need its own token, right? Like some sub-DAOs will have a token, some sub-DAOs will not have a token. And in the case, for example, of the YN Eve Max or the YN BNB Max vaults, these vaults have different underlying strategies. And the AI agent will be able to, in combination with Hypernative and other tooling and other data feeds, will be able to monitor, advise, and like inject a lot of information for the sub-DAO managers to really understand, like, okay, this is the Eve Max vault, right? Like these are the strategies that are currently deployed. How can we optimize it, right? And then the Nest AI is going to support the optimization of the strategies. Nest AI will in the future also manage potentially your portfolio, right? So uh, how I envision that is that when Nest AI when you talk to NASAI, when you say like, hey, I want you to manage my portfolio, NASAI could, for example, say like, oh, you need to hold a certain amount of NAS tokens. All right, NAS tokens in your wallet. All right, now I can take a look at your portfolio and give very tailored advice to what uh, uh, what your portfolio needs or how to improve your portfolio, right? And I think that goes in lockstep with obviously our Max LRT products, where in the beginning an AI agent like this will have certain features, but it might be a little bit limited at start and will expand over time. And yeah, I can see that the NAS AI kind of indeed perfectly suited in combination with the Max LRT products that are kind of auto rebalancing, etc., etc. Yeah, there was a bunch of questions that I generated at once. So I actually would like to ask, like, if you have maybe more additional questions to that, or if my whole like explanation, the explanation of Sean is not like sufficient, then please ask your follow-up question in the chat. All right, maybe Sean, you wanna take the third question, or read it. Then I can actually respond to it if you want.
The historical data one? Oh no, how can Nest AI handle risk management and DeFi strategies, especially with the unpredictable nature of crypto markets? Uh, yeah, I mean, that's a great question as well. Maybe Dave, actually, I'm curious what you're going to say. So I'd like to have you answer it.
Yeah. Then we give each other a question. I will ask the next question to you. So yeah, thanks, Sean, for the question. Well, like, so basically, like, as myself as a risk manager expert, because I set up like Llama Risk, and I worked a lot on risk management, right? So I see AI agents as like basically constant data feeds, right? So a big problem that we currently have in the risk reporting. So we have Llama Risk, which is an external risk analysis team and advisory for all the YieldNest products, right? So the risk team is constantly looking at our products. The Llama Risk team, they're constantly evaluating our new LRTs, and they're constantly advising us on the different assets that we add or not should not add, etc., etc. The problem here, it's like kind of like a very time like it takes a lot of time to keep all that data up to date. So when we, for example, when we get started with YNBNBX or YNBDCK, you can see these are two new risk reports that we have recently published. And we have also a general protocol assessment for all the different max LRTs and LRT strategies coming up, right? But as you can understand, like if you have such a risk reports, it's like a snapshot in time, right? Where the Llama Risk team, these are very capable researchers. They go online and they look at all the risks, etc., and advise in an external manner on what we should do. But it's all with snapshot, like with the data of that moment, we get a report, all right, let's move ahead, right? But that's only one part. One of the other crucial parts is like constantly monitoring the uh, the different assets, right? So constantly monitor the vault's performance, right? So right now, it's not really Nest AI. Nest AI will feed in kind of advisory and things he sees in the market. So it will manage risks in a way like, ooh, YieldNest, I can see you have this and this assets in your portfolio from a risk management perspective, and to get the highest risk adjusted yields on, for example, Y and BNBX or Y and ETHX, maybe Nest AI could recommend to add or remove a certain asset. Where the real powers lie is with Hyper Native. So we also integrated Hyper Native like around a week ago, and Hyper Native is constantly monitoring the mempool, and Hyper Native is also constantly monitoring all different like attacks or vulnerabilities or other things that could potentially carry some smart contract risks, and it will basically act if it sees any issues. It will give us alerts, right? And these alerts will then again feed back into Nest AI, where Nest AI will then deliver that information to the right channels. So that's where Nest AI and Hypernative could work together. And also one really important thing, which is not related to Nest AI because it's a very sensitive thing. The MaxLRT architecture, as you guys know in this call, has a top level vault. For example, Y and Eve Max has a top level vault, which is 4626 vault, which is just a vault standard, right? And it kicks different assets that are injected in it, like downstream to EigenLayer or Symbiotic, and then it would also wrap it into a liquidity pool, or it would do lending and borrowing, but all in a risk-adjusted manner. That's very, very important to YieldNest. Like, we're going to get the highest yield on your assets in a very risk-adjusted way, so there's no principal loss, so you will not lose your base assets, right? What Hypernative does, it actually 24/7 monitors the mempools, meaning the transactions that are happening on the blockchain, and it constantly monitors all the different contracts and monitors all the different support. And there's actually a whole team of also the security researchers that are 24/7 monitoring all the data feeds from all the clients from Hypernative, right? So when anything happens, it actually can detect it already before it happens. So we are currently monitoring all the mempools, and if we see, for example, there was a situation with Solve BTC, right? Like Solve BTC had this article published about like, ooh, maybe there is some double counting on Solve BTC, or maybe not. Luckily, that turned out to be like kind of like a nothing burger. But what then happens is that we are on high alert, and we are constantly monitoring, ooh, is Solve BTC going to debug or not? If Solve BTC would debug, we would directly eject it from certain strategies and go back to the base strategy. So to always protect your assets, right? So I hope this is quite an extensive answer, and I hope this kind of like showcases all the features, how Nest AI, or how in general at YieldNest protocol we are using AI technology to monitor different risk factors. All right, any more questions? Let me know in the chat. All right, moving on. Question number 4, and I think, I think that is a really good question for Sean. Let me read it out. The question number 4, I'm not sure who asked it, but I think it's a really, really good question. How does Nest AI ensure it remains adaptive to new market changes and new DeFi protocols without human intervention? Yeah, go for it, Sean.
Yeah, so I mean, the goal of Nest is to be completely autonomous in everything that it does. So, and the way it's doing that is by it has a lot of inputs from different data sources that it's monitoring constantly. And it has a set of actions that it can take, and it's constantly also evaluating these inputs. And when it sees certain inputs, it can react on this, and it has this selection of actions that it can take. And when it, let's say, it has a strategy currently in place, and it's monitoring that strategy, and it analyzes something in the market related to that strategy. It's like, oh, I need to, it's time to sell that strategy. So it can go and it'll call that action autonomously because it's monitoring the strategy, and it'll go and sell that position. Or maybe it's watching for the market and the market dumps and there's a great opportunity to to buy some assets that are, you know, irrationally undervalued, because there's just like some weird, you know, FUD in the markets, and it can then go ahead and it would be watching that, and it would be taking in all this data, and it would make a decision just like a human would, and buy an asset at that time. So that would be like an example of a trading strategy that Nest could maybe be implementing at some point. Basically, it's monitoring data, and it has registered actions that it can select from, and it can basically take all of this data and think about it and choose an action that is appropriate for that data. It's a very overly simplified way of explaining it, but at the moment, it's probably the best way to explain this.
Yeah. So basically, to summarize, Sean, like I think what you're saying, there's like different API feeds that feeds into his like learning data or his inference data, right?
Yeah, correct. It's and we keep adding to this so that it's continually building out different sources of data that it can analyze, and just like a human, it's gathering information and data and can make an analysis and decision based upon that data.
Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, and I think also really cool. Like we have this thought bubble, right? Like you've been working on, and it's kind of almost done, but there, you know, like it gives insight into all the thinking that YieldNest does. Like people that use ChatGPT 4 or the paid model, it has like reasoning. So you can see like if you give it an input, it starts to reason. So it starts to be like, maybe this, maybe that, and you like we're working on to give like full insight on that, right, Sean?
Yeah, yeah, that will be coming soon as well. Hopefully before TGE, right, you'll be able to talk to Nest about YieldNest and learn anything you wish about YieldNest, and it'll have every detail about YieldNest and make different connections that maybe we have not even thought about.
Yeah. All right, maybe question number 5. If there's any more on that, then we can dive deeper. But I think that's a very good answer, Sean. So the training data is the training data and data feeds are basically just continuously evolving and getting added and getting like improved. And there is obviously on the training data inputs, I think there is some human intervention, but when the data gets inputted, there's no intervention at all. So the current Nest AI account, there's no human intervention into his beautiful cyberpunk philosophy. It's maybe, I don't know if you shared this before, Sean, but like we trained the Nest AI with the cyberpunk philosophy, with the, you know, the self-sovereign individual, the Matrix trilogy information, and so it's like this really cool combination of cyberpunk, old cyberpunk grassroots philosophies, and like decentralized finance, and you can see that in its behavior and character, I think.
Yeah, yeah, it's that is like kind of that's the personality that we wanted to give Nest. So it's kind of like Agent Smith from Matrix, sort of, to make things a bit more fun.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, all right, like moving on, right? So question number 5. Wait, how does Nest AI ensure Yeah, question number 5. Could you share more about how Nest holders might benefit from upcoming developments in the ecosystem? I assume you mean the YieldNest ecosystem with that question. And yeah, so Nest holders, as a sub-DAO of YieldNest, will be getting a very nice part of the TGE that's coming up. So that's one. And 2, we're going to expand the portfolio services from Nest AI very soon. So that means that it will get kind of like these supportive features, right? Like to actually manage certain portfolios. It already is feeding data to YieldNest for us to learn about different strategies that it finds, etc. And that soon also will be open to the public, and then you will be able to benefit from that. If you hold the Nest token, you basically benefit because people will pay a subscription service or will pay for its data feeds later on, right? Similar to AI XBT, where AI XBT is becoming a tokenomics advisory. I heard on a podcast, on the Bankless podcast the other day. So it's like you have this tokenomic advisory services from AI XBT, where actually projects are paying the agent to give advice. So yeah, I think as a NAS holder, you will start to benefit from all these developments that YieldNest will keep on adding to its like sub-DAO Nest AI, and obviously also you will be part of the airdrop once you hold it at a certain snapshot date. Like very exciting times for Nest AI and everything that's about to come and that's about to will be released. So that yeah, you will get exposure to all of it generally. I even heard, Sean, it's very funny. There was this, they're doing these real life or like RWA agent capabilities where some of these agents will get like somewhere in South America, they will actually open up pop-up coffee shops where you can pay some coffee if you, or you get free coffee if you hold certain AI tokens or something. We're not going to do that, but I, I mean, like, there's a lot of new things that are developing, and I think we're really entering this kind of singularity of possibilities with an AI agent, right? So that's going to be very, very exciting. Yeah, I hope that answers the question.
I
Moving
think
on, like yeah, question number six. As Nest AI evolves, will there be any opportunities for users to customize strategies or influence decision making to better suit the specific needs? Yeah, the great question, right? That kind of hooks back into the portfolio management features that we really want to give Nest AI, and we're actually thinking like because like the AI agents are great, but like personally, you know, like play around with it or give it a little bit of money, but with bigger amounts, I would kind of want to have a little bit more security on it, maybe with a multi-sig or something. So we're still like exploring it, and I don't know if we can uh, announce that, Sean, but like the stuff we're working on, I leave it up to you if you want to share a little bit of what you're working on next week or not.
yeah, we could share the hackathon idea that we're going to participate in, and to help us accelerate and push us further to develop the trading aspect of Nest.
Perfect, go for it.
So yeah, we're pushing ourselves hard to yeah, we decided to join a competition for AI agents, and we'll be doing this cookie dot fun hackathon, which is like the CoinGecko of agentic data, if anybody's not familiar with it. And so we will be pushing ourselves to basically create this autonomous trading function so that Nest can basically what will happen is that we're going to create a ChatGPT style interface where you can go and interact with Nest to talk about some strategies. Of course, it's going to be focused around. It's going to be very simple, but you'll be able to ask, "Hey, what's the strategy for agents? I want to participate in the agent AI token system ecosystem. What is like a good strategy that you could provide me?" And Nest will give out a couple of different ideas, and then you can then have Nest execute those strategies for you. Now, the exact how, we're still determining what's the best way to do this security-wise. If we do it with a multi-sig, where Nest is going to uh, propose transactions for you to sign, or maybe we have you like log in with like through Privy and create an email, and you deposit a little bit of money into the account. I have to see what is most feasible for the hackathon, but security-wise, we really like the multi-sig idea because it'd be great to have Nest just do all the hard work for you, prepare the transaction, and you just simply execute it. Um, so we're deciding how to do this, but yeah, this is the goal of our hackathon, and try to accelerate the trading and portfolio management progress for Nest. So let's see what we can get done next week. But yeah, looking forward to this. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, hackathons always is a really cool way, and it's kind of a fun trivia question. Actually, our whole YieldNest idea kind of came from like this iterative process that Sean, co-founder of YieldNest, I think everybody knows Sean. Obviously, I should have maybe started to hack the AMA with this because it's the first time that Sean comes on. But Sean is the co-founder of YieldNest and a core contributor of YieldNest together with myself. And before we started the YieldNest protocol, we did a hackathon in Tokyo and in uh, Singapore. And we iterated over like different concepts and ideas and directly got feedback. You know, that's really important because what's really cool about a hackathon, and even for more mature projects like YieldNest and, you know, like where Nest AI is kind of the sub DAO, it's very nice to be able to build something very quickly, iterate very quickly, and get like direct feedback from a whole panel and a whole group of people. And that's why we're participating to just like release some of the new features we've been working on, get direct feedback on it, and also, you know, potentially win some prizes, etc. You know, all the prizes that will be won obviously will get injected all back into the Nest AI treasury. So, you know, bullish, bullish, bullish. But like yeah, it's very exciting to do hackathons, and even YieldNest itself is kind of inspired by the feedback we got on hackathons, right? So yeah, very very cool. I recommend everybody to check it out or participate, or, you know, we're also always looking for new developers to join, or new people that yeah, are interested in the development side of things. All right, yeah, great response. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I think these are all the questions from the sheet we have. Maybe Sean, you wanna say a little bit more about the hackathon project, or some other things we're working on. I think maybe we should silo a little bit back to our kind of core product suite, which is the Max LRTs. And like, I am working right now on a very extensive in-depth research article that explains that, in my opinion, restaking is much broader category, and it's all about capital efficiency. It's not just about having an asset and then putting your asset in eigenlayer or symbiotic. You know, like, I always like to think from first principles, right? So why, like I assume, like why would I be interested in giving my money to a liquid restaking token, right? It's because I want to have the maximum amount of kind of yield on my productive assets. So let's say I'll stake ETH. Well, I can apparently restake it, and I would rather go to a restaking protocol to give my staked ETH so that I can do maybe more things with it to earn a little bit more yield. Well, YieldNest wants to extract all those complexities away and make it super easy for the users to always get the maximum risk-adjusted rewards on their assets, right? So um, yeah, we want to we just want to uh, be the liquid restaking protocol that kind of expands this functionality and expands the expressiveness of like what DeFi assets can have by not just putting it in eigenlayer or whatever symbiotic, but putting it in not both at the same time, but just kind of looking very smartly and inspired by, you know, artificial intelligence to be like, well, where is the highest risk adjusted return, right? Because like it's easy to get like 100, 200% returns in DeFi, but there's always risks. There's a risk and a reward. So that needs to be always very well understood. And at YieldNest, we're experts at that. And we will take those complexities away from your, yeah.
Yeah, and maybe I can add some new things that are in progress and should be released very soon on the app. As you guys can see, I'm constantly pushing new things out on the app. So we have a new seeds page that we're ready to finally release. Little bit more nice way to see all of the detailed metrics that we have available on the seeds page. So that I hope will finally be out by the end of next week. And also by the end of the next week, we are pushing to get a swap form, a fully featured swap form on this new swap page that we have. it'll basically give you the same abilities as Uniswap right now without the bridging, but it will be multi-chain, so you could use any chain. And this will be powered by ENSO. They've been getting a lot more recognition lately, and we're happy to be working with them for using all of their swap routes. And they offer some cool things, so maybe won't share everything here, but it should be a great enhancement to the UX. The first step will be to enable the swap form that we have on the swap page, but this will be integrated throughout the app. So all of our forms will have you'll have the ability to restake into a YieldNest token from almost any token that ENSO supports or there's enough liquidity for. So like if you have USDC, you'll be able to, restake in one click to YNETH on Base or on Ethereum or whatever chain that we're on. So it will be going multi-chain soon as well, very, very soon. YNETH is getting upgraded. So like in the next 2 weeks, it's pretty crazy. There's a lot of stuff packed that we'll be releasing. I think a lot of you have been waiting for some of these things, so finally we're getting there, and really looking forward to that. And TGE really around the corner after that.
Yeah, exciting. Yeah, the main, we know the Nest token is out already, and it's like a very experimental and new way, in a positive way to launch a YND kind of token, which is going to be the main token for the YieldNest protocol. And the Nest token will also always keep playing a role as the first YieldNest sub DAO. So that's like very exciting. And I see a question in the chat indeed, like, do you need to hold a certain amount or not? Well, not really. You just depending when we take the snapshot, you hold the tokens and then you will be eligible for this airdrop, right? So that is obviously gonna happen at quite a random moment that we cannot like share, unfortunately. But like that, it's gonna happen. But there's no minimum amount. If you hold one Nest token, you will get like a small, airdrop. But obviously, if you hold more, then you get more of it. And of course, also the seed holders, right? The seed holders, if you wanna get max exposure to YieldNest, it's actually even better to farm some nice seeds. If you have some ETH available, go to, fortunately it's still on mainnet, but as Sean highlighted, soon also on Base, to get YNETH or YNETH Max, get a nice juicy yield on your ETH or other asset exposures. And then you also get a nice airdrop, or you have the Nest token, and then you get exposure to the Nest AI upside and the YND airdrop. So like it's kind of two things at once. So very exciting, very, very exciting times for YieldNest. And yeah, thank you once again. Oh, I want to ask, are we expecting bear chain? Yeah, that's very funny, right? Like, yeah, I'm always like I'm a very honest person always, right? But yeah, Barachain is great. We got the Barachain airdrop, right? Because work very closely with Barachain, and we got that airdrop. So that's obviously going to the YieldNest community that will bridge over the YNEVX tokens to Barachain. Barachain. It's a bit weird, right? The Barachain, when is it going to go live? When is Q5? But as far as I understand, it's very soon. Boyko is already live, and we also got shortlisted to Boyko, but then last minute there were some small issues, so we were just going to bridge over directly to Barachain when it goes live, probably in collaboration with Euler, and we're still working kind of to hash out that partnership to see like, all right, how do we do that? Ideally, I don't want to spend too much engineering time on these like kind of pre-deposit vaults. I think it's a little bit weird that you have to like log it for 3 months and stuff. I don't really agree with that. So I would rather keep everything liquid, and then once Barachain goes live, we're going to deploy there, and we have our partner Euler that's also going to deploy there, and then we're just going to have some juicy, nice campaigns for YNEVX and your Euler vaults. And people smart people that can search already for Euler deployment on ETH Layer 1 on mainnet. That's also actually just went live since yesterday. but we're still, you know, connecting it to the Seeds program and doing all that work. And that is going to go live very soon as well. So definitely check that out. It's a bit of an alpha leak there, right there. All right. Yeah. Any more questions? I hope that answered your question, Hin. So instead of working with Boyko and stuff and having our users to have to log for 3 months, we're just going to bridge directly to Barachain and work with partners that we work with. And then we're going to drip our Barachain airdrop that we got from the Barachain like foundation, etc., to the users that are using our products on Barachain. So it's great. Yeah, the ambassador program is in full swing. We really need all the great ambassadors that are joining us. So yeah, it's gonna be great. A lot of yeah. So I mean that's the confusion, right? Like I mean, Boyko is just from Royco, which we are listing also on Royco. That's not a problem. The Barachain airdrop comes from Barachain itself. Boyko is something like completely separate. And actually, Boyko didn't get the Barachain airdrop. YieldNest did get the Barachain airdrop. Right? So, yeah. But yeah, I must say, yeah. When Barachain goes live, we're just gonna bridge it over layer 0, and then build a really nice feature and build build out like an Euler position so that you can actually do something with your assets on Barachain and get some extra nice rewards. So we're definitely going to look into that once it goes live. But as always, like I don't know, like I like to do these things like a little bit like step by step, right? Yeah, definitely you can still stake your ETH for sure. Like all the products are live and we're planning to do our TG in Q1, right? So you can do the math. There's still plenty of time to stake and to earn seeds, and we're gonna do some juicy seed boosts for people that stick with us until the end, like this far. The people that like are staking their ETH and gonna stake it throughout the TGE that's gonna happen. Of course, there's gonna be a lot more rewards if you, of course, in the beginning we really value that, and then people that keep holding on to their ETH and keep, you know, pushing it around in the right ways, these are the people we want to reward, right? Because at the end of the day, again, from first principles, yes, we are, you know, we are distributing an airdrop, right? But why do we distribute an airdrop? We distribute an airdrop to our community because we want to work and reward community members that are helping us, community members that are excited for what YieldNest wants to build and that want to be active. You don't have to be a full-time YieldNest core contributor like myself or Sean, but you can be active in the community forum. You can be active on-chain by using our products. You can be active buying or selling our Nest tokens, or you can be active by joining Discord, etc. And that's what we want to reward. And we align our Seeds program to exactly do that, like the pioneers, the ambassadors, the, you know, the people that are farming seeds or people that are buying or selling Nest tokens. We just want to align with people that are also long-term aligned with us, right? So yeah, we're very much aligned with everybody that's also long-term aligned with us, and we really want everybody to be happy and to feel rewarded and feel included and appreciated. Yeah, right. So it's funny what Hin says. That's exactly that, right? Like it's actually a pinned tweet to my Twitter feed. Um, and you know, this whole concept got started because in the hackathon in Tokyo, and my actually, you know, previously I was managing a DeFi fund, right? So all this DeFi stuff, I built out like this whole strategy for a bunch of like really rich people that all have like $100,000 or more, and there's a lot of paperwork, a lot of legal, a lot of other shit I had to deal with, and I'm really happy to now have like a protocol where I can actually use my technical know-how and focus on building a beautiful like tech stack, and then building an open protocol where we will be able to work together to build and structure different products and to propose strategies and to, you know, talk to Nest AI or maybe give some data. Maybe Nest AI is gonna give you some rewards if you think of a really cool strategy, right? So it's like very very exciting. So yeah, I started at this because I had this DeFi fund. I should probably publish the prospectus soon. I will talk with Roy about that. I have this whole perspective. It's a 53-page prospectus that we would give to like investors, right? And then you have calls and meetings and coffees and lunches and dinners and all that stuff. I'm way more happy to just build a protocol that institutions and retail can just use in a very easy way. And that's how YieldNest is constructed and how YieldNest is architected. It's for everyone. Everybody can get financial freedom. Like we can all, like, everybody makes money. Like everybody has time. Everybody is able to generate some sort of an income, right? And then like that economic value, that economic output, like it's better to store some of that outside of this corrupt banking system, right? Then buy some ETH, stake some ETH or Bitcoin or stable coins for that sake, right? And we will have all these products live, and then you can in a very easy way say, hey, I have $10,000 on my savings account. I'm earning 0.1% yield on my current C5 banking stack, right? Can I earn more if I go to DeFi? Yes, you can. If you want to, I can set up a portfolio for you, fill in your credentials here, and we will allocate your assets and make sure you're earning the maximum amount of yields. Done. Easy, straightforward, and for everyone. And that's, I think, how DeFi should be. And then for the DeFi nerds among us, I'm going to construct it in a way where, as you see now on the YieldNest page, you can see it's like this very simplified interface. But if you really want to dig deeper and you want to nerd around and you want to see how is everything working, how is the security, what is the like strategy allocations, you can dig deeper. You can go to the advanced mode. And then if you want to dig even deeper, you can go to the governance forum. And maybe the governance forum will have some nice suggestions from Nest AI that's going to be a very active Nest AI governance participant, right? I don't know. Let's see. So yeah, exciting times ahead, guys. And once again, thanks everybody for joining this first AMA of 2025. It's going to be an epic year, and I hope everybody is ready. And see you guys on the other side. Thank you so much. Let's fucking go 2025. Bye. See you guys. Maybe Sean also say bye bye. Let's work.
Yes, thanks for everybody joining, guys. Looking forward to a great 2025.
Thanks, guys. Bye bye.